Hello, everyone. Good morning. Snowy day out there. My name is Rick Kennedy, and I've been asked by CMHA to host a food webinar. And I originally thought this would be a great idea because as a firefighter, I'm currently off work due to PTSD, and I like to create recipes to help me with my mental illness. So a little bit about myself besides being a firefighter. I originally created Peasfull Fare as a way to help me with my PTSD, to keep me focused and ongoing, and as a way to showcase vegan food that is not boring and we don't just eat lettuce or grass. Okay. All right, so today the menu is going to be vegan chili. Pretty easy, pretty laid back. As you can see, I'm kind of laid back. So the first thing I'm going to do to start is I'm going to wash up my hands, and then I'm going to show you the ingredients. Just give me one sec. Sorry about that. All right. So first thing I want to do is I have a pot. Bear with me, I have a camera. I have a pot here. You want to turn your pot on to medium high. I'm going to get your pot going before you start cooking. Okay, I'm going to be in and out of frame. I apologize. I want you to see what I'm doing. Okay, so what we have our list of ingredients. I'm going to run down because some of you might not have seen these ingredients before. You might not have them at home. So first list of ingredients always going to be vegetables. We're going to have green pepper, we're going to have a red pepper, orange pepper, red pepper, and a large sweet onion. It has to be a sweet onion. As for the protein that's in it, because everyone always asks for vegans get the protein, we have red kidney beans and black kidney beans. So you want to open the cans, you want to drain and rinse them well. Easier with this. So over here on my mise en place tray, I have olive oil, salt and pepper, I have vegetable stock, I have nutritional yeast. You can get nutritional yeast either in a container like this, or you can get it bulk, or you can also get it in Red Mill's container. Looks like that at Sobeys, Superstore, or the bulk barn, or Scoop and Save. Now a lot of people ask what nutritional yeast is. Nutritional yeast, it looks like flake, and it looks like human fish food. What it does is it gives you an umami taste. You can put it on your popcorn, and it tastes like cheesy. It adds an extra little flavor to your dishes. So then from here we have our spices. I have smoked paprika, I have cumin powder, chili powder, oregano, cocoa powder. People always wonder why I'm putting cocoa powder in. I'll explain that to you. Tamari, or vegan soy sauce, if you want to call it. If you don't have tamari, you can use regular soy sauce. This just has less sodium in it. And the other ingredient is the vegan Worcestershire sauce. You can get this at Sobeys or Superstore. If not, you might have to go to Sequoia or Fora in Fredericton. And the last ingredient is roasted garlic. We have 2 heads of roasted garlic. So to roast the garlic, just to give you an idea, you're going to set your oven to 400 degrees. You're going to cut the tops off your garlic. It's a little piece of tin foil, put a little olive oil, and a little salt and pepper on it. You're going to wrap them up, put them on a baking tray, place them in your oven about 40 to 45 minutes. And when you're done, it looks like that. It's all caramelized. So you lose all the bite of the sharp garlic, You get that extra flavor, and this toasting is really makes it sweet. Okay, so now our pan, our pot. You can use any pot. I'm just using the Dutch oven today. Should be nice up to heat. So now we'll start cooking. So we're going to start 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And we're going to bring the olive oil up nice and warm. A little mix. So from there, we're going to chop up our vegetables. You don't still see me? So we're going to start with a sweet onion. So what this extra bowl is on my counter is this just a garbage bowl. You can use it to put in your compost if you have a compost. If not, it's just an easier way to get the garbage. Okay. All right. So make sure you get yourself a nice, good sharp knife. Don't have a dull knife. Sharpen it the best way you can. It doesn't have to be really expensive. We're gonna chop our onion. You just want to put just a medium dice on it. It doesn't have to be fine. You want it still chunky and some bite. Watch your fingers when you're cutting. You can curl them back. And same on the other half. Once you have your onions all diced up, you transfer them into the pot. That's the sound you want to hear on your night sizzle. Want to give your onions a little stir. We're going to switch to the bottom. And now you should probably have about a medium-high heat. And you only want to cook the onions till they're translucent. You don't want any color on them. So now we're going to start with our peppers. We're going to start with the green pepper. Slice off the top. Like the bottom. Don't want to get any of the pip, the seeds. You just cut right along the pip. You're going to cut them into strips and you're going to cut them into bite-sized pieces. You don't have to go as fast as me. Be safe, don't cut yourself. No rush. Okay, back to my onions for a minute. Cooking up nice. Go to orange pepper. Same. Top off. Bottom off. Don't want any seeds. You don't want any of the white pit. Same thing. Cut down the strips. My onion is still doing good. And now the red pepper. Okay. Now cherry pepper done. Add the onions. Put another little mix. If the heat is too hot, you can turn it down to a medium low. You transfer the peppers into your pot. And give them a little mix. Mix peppers in with the onions. Again, you don't want any color on the onion peppers as well. Right. Always have a good kitchen towel if you can. A quick wipe up and one down your knife. So slip, don't cut yourself. Keep everything nice and tight. Okay, now your peppers and onions are going. What I like to do is just give them a pinch of salt, not a lot, just a pinch. Just to bring out some more of the juices and the liquids out of the peppers and the onions. They were actually going to mix. Now your peppers should be medium cooked and your onions should be almost translucent by now at this point. So this whole recipe altogether takes 30 minutes. I'll go a little bit longer than when you want to actually reduce them down. So now from here, I'm going to start adding our other ingredients. The first thing I want to add is our roasted garlic. What I'm going to do is you're going to take the garlic, you're going to squeeze the cloves in. You don't have to mash them up in a bowl separately. Squeeze them right into the pot. Same with the second one. Give the hands a little clean. I'm going to give that a mix. Now, what I like to do, and everyone has a different way of making chili. I like to get spices kind of cooked a little bit as I'm going. So I'm going to add the spices in now. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start with the smoked paprika. Maybe 1 teaspoon smoked paprika. I'm going to go 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. About 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. Now we're going to go with 4 tablespoons of chili powder. This is not a spicy chili powder, but it will give it a little bit of a kick. Not a lot. Help with that red color as well. Okay, so now we go back to the pot, give another mix. Now your pot will look a little dry. That's okay. You're just waking up the not all the spices are dry. You're just waking them up. Get another little mix. Okay, getting the board a little cleanup. I'm going to put it on an apron because I was asked by another viewer. I don't know if you can see the apron. So this apron was made by my older sister, Stacy. All right, there. Now we're more good. We'll get anything on me. Okay, from here, we're going to add a teaspoon of salt. I use sea salt. You use pink Himalayan sea salt. I'm going to go half teaspoon pepper. There's going to be a lot of heat in there. Give it a mix. Here, we're going to add our 2 cups of vegetable stock. Use any vegetable stock. Low sodium if you want. The pot. Give it a mix. Scrape down the sides. Get all the spices and everything in there. And from there, we're going to add 3 cans of fire roasted tomatoes. I kept them in a can to show you what I'm using. This is Palmer's. It says fire roasted tomatoes. There's nothing, there's no garlic or anything on it. Okay. So you add in 3 cans. Two. And a third one. But I'm not going too fast for everybody. Give the pot another stir. Now you want to turn your heat up to about a medium high. So you add all the liquid in there, so everything's cooled down, so you want to bring the heat back up. Right, so everything's looking good. Okay, now the rest of the ingredients. going to add in 1 tablespoon of tamari soy sauce. This is the light one. One tablespoon of vegan Worcestershire sauce. Give the pot another mix. Now your pot will look a little bit darker, a little deeper, rich color. That's what you want. Our next ingredient I'm going to add is 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast. Spread it over the top. As I'm going along, I know people might have questions. So if you want to wait to the end and ask the questions, I'll answer your questions at the very end of the program. The last magical ingredient that goes into there is cocoa powder. Straight cocoa powder, no other sugars, nothing, just straight cocoa powder or cacao powder, Friar's cocoa powder. Give your pot a stir. Turn the heat up. Bring it up to a little bit of a boil, and then you can reduce it to a simmer. So now at this stage, it starts to come up to a boil. You do not want to add in your beans. So if you add your beans in now, you're going to go to mush. And then it's just going to be a paste, and it's not going to be very appealing. So we're going to hold off on the beans. Bring this up to a boil. A nice medium heat, get a nice little boil, bring it down to a simmer. We're going to go 15 minutes. 15 minutes, vegetables should be soft, the color will be a little richer. Spices and everything have a chance to blend and melt around. You want to keep scraping on the sides of your pot. You want it to come to a boil. So now a lot of people, you say, it's snowing here in Armagh. I'm assuming everywhere else. So a lot of people like to ask or like to know, what can I do with this great big pot of chili? So a lot of things that I would do with the pot of chili, so you can make chili mac and cheese. I'm not too shiny. You could do nachos. You could do on a baked potato or a baked sweet potato. You do chili fries, chili and rice, you do a chili dog, I do a chili vegan dog, you do sloppy joes, you do a taco salad, you can make chili shepherd's pie, and you can make stuffed peppers. You just probably have to reduce a little bit, so not a lot of liquid, and then cut the tops off the peppers, put it in, and put them in the oven. Okay, so that's just what you can do with the leftovers. Now with this chili, it freezes well, keeps probably about 2 to 4 days in your fridge if you didn't put it in the freezer. But what I recommend, once you're done, you would freeze it. You can use a Ziploc bag or a Tupperware container. Some people use mason jars. Mason jars, I find there's a lot of air on the top. You can't get all the air out. You use a Ziploc bag, let your chili cool down, place it in the bag, lay it flat. Zip up all the air and lay it flat in your freezer, and it'll keep for whatever you need it. That's still good. So I'm going to come back to my pot. Give it another little stir. So now you see it's come up to a boil. Don't want it to stick to the bottom. Let's do a quick little cleanup. And the last ingredient we're going to put in before we put in the beans is a can of crushed green chilies. These aren't really spicy. They're a bit of a medium to mild flavor. The brand I use is Old El Paso, small little can. Now, I give you the option, you can use half of this can. You find it might be too spicy or you can't do a lot of spice. What I do for this recipe, I put in the full can. So I'm adding a can of crushed green chilies to the pot. Again, give it another stir. Let it come back up to a boil. Okay, so as that's coming up to a boil, I'll talk about some of the leftovers, how to make some of the other dishes that I make. So if you want to do a chili mac and cheese, my version is a cashew based. Some people use potatoes and carrots to make the cheese sauce. If you do cashew based cheese sauce or nacho cheese, then you got to add in your chili and you add your macaroni and you mix it together so it kind of would look like a vegan version of hamburger helper. And then you put it in the oven. You can put a crust over it with breadcrumbs and vegan cheese. You want to do it that way. And as for nachos be straight up. Do your nacho base, your chips, the vegetables you want to use. Use your chili on top. As a baked potato first. Cut the potato, split it open, put the chili on top, salt and pepper, vegan sour cream if you want. And chili and rice, that's pretty easy. You would boil on a pot of rice, have it on the side, have it on top. As for the chili dog, you buy vegan chili, or vegan hot dog, sorry, and a bun, put it on the chili dog, and add your cheese. As for sloppy Joe, you want to reduce it a little bit. And at that one, I would add, say, Beyond Meat. I find the Beyond Meat ground that you can buy now. It's all plant-based, crisp up real nice, tastes exactly like beef used to taste like. And I would mix it into the chili to get a more immediate consistency and place it on your buns. As your taco salad, you're going to get your greens, your romaine lettuce, your other vegetables, tomatoes, onions, chop them up in a bowl. And then take the chili, heat it up, and lay it on top, and then crush those nacho chips on top of it. And as for shepherd's pie, you boil the potatoes. You're going to layer it in, say, 9x13 tray. Turn your oven on to 375. Boil potatoes. You're going to add your chili on the bottom. You can add corn, some other corn. Some people also like peas in it. Another layer, and then you put your mashed or whipped potatoes on top. And then you're going to roast it in the oven to get a nice golden brown crust on top. And then for the stuffed peppers, like I said once before, I would reduce the chili so it's a little bit thicker. I'd hollow up the peppers, put them on a baking tray, 375 in the oven, about say 20, 25 minutes. You can cut the bottoms of the peppers a little bit so they stand up. Makes it a little bit easier. And then stuff the peppers with reduced chili and cook them up that way. So it makes great leftovers, as you say, it's a large pot. So if you look at the pot now, it's come to a nice boil. That's what we want to see. So we're going to do a nice little mix. Scraping down the sides again. Smells great. So after about the 15-minute mark, you take your beans. So we have the drained and rinsed black bean, the drained and rinsed red kidney bean. We add them to the pot. You apply another mix. Again, it's going to cool down the pot again. So keep it on a medium to high heat. So I'm going to bring that back up to another boil. And then we want to reduce it right down to a simmer. We don't want to overcook the beans as well. Now, once that comes up to a boil, like I said, we're going to reduce it, down to a simmer, and you're ready to go, chili. So when I've done, when you're done, your chili, I'm trying to zoom in so you can see this. Sorry if I ruined the frame. When you're done, your chili will look like this. It'll have a deep, rich red color. Everything's cooked. Vegetables are soft. Not too thin. And from here, you can top it with avocado. You can use vegan shredded cheese, Daya. You can use nacho chips. You can use crusty bread. And everything. So there it is. That is what you're looking to get when you're done. All right, so I'm going to come back to my pot one last time. Just come up to the final boil. I put it down to medium, medium low, and let it reduce for another 15 minutes. You can go longer if you like have a little bit thicker chili. And that is Peasfull Fare's vegan chili. If you have any questions or comments, now would be the time I would answer.
All right, so we have a couple questions. The first two are a little bit related, so I'll read the first one. So Nikki said, what type of salt do you use?
Oh, Nikki. Nikki's my sister, by the way. What I'm using today, I'm just using, it's a fine, coarse sea salt. I normally use pink Himalayan salt or flake salt. I find there's not a lot of sodium. It doesn't have a really like a tinny or taste to it. And I find it's just, a little goes a long way. You don't have to add a lot to it.
All right, so the second question about salt, we've got one from Lori, who asks, what are the difference in salts for cooking? Sea salt, kosher salt, table salt. Is one better than the other to use?
Yes, I find for cooking, especially if you're doing pasta or you're doing, say, chilies or different recipes, I like to use a sea salt. Again, like I find it's a milder flavor. It's not as, I find if you just use regular table salt, it's a little bit stronger. There's more iodine and different ingredients that are actually in it. So it's where it's a little coarser. Unfortunately, I can't show it very well on camera. It's almost like a sand. So as you're using it a pinch, you actually get the full pinch. You use it. Regular table salt is more granular. So I find this is a little bit goes a long way. So you can season your food with less salt. So as for the pink Himalayan salt, which I like to use, it's just done the same way as a sea salt is done as well. It just has the pinker color.
Awesome. So our next question is from Jeanette, and she asks, do you use any vegan meat or TVP?
Yes, I do. I use a couple different ingredients. I do Beyond Meat burger. I do Beyond Meat ground. There is the Lifehouse product as well. That's another product that I've used in the past. Another substitute that I would use would be, so what else would I TVP, as I say, textured extra protein. I would also use vital wheat gluten. I make donaires out of the vital wheat gluten to make seitan. So seitan is a vegan meat that can be used into anything: meatballs, burgers, meatloaf, steak, chicken. So many different, it's so versatile what you can do with it. I also use lentils. Lentils is another great protein that you can make other ingredients with. You can make meatballs out of lentils. You can make burgers out of lentils. I also use Butler soy curls. When I use soy kernels is what I use to make my Mongolian chicken strips or different things like that, or ginger beef. As you marinate in the broth, it actually takes on the texture of meat. So when you cook it any way you want, fry it, deep fry it, bake it, it takes on the consistency of meat. I also use a lot of soy. I use tofu. I use smoked, medium, firm, soft, depending on what I'm doing. Again, it's all with your, you have to get really comfortable with your herbs and your spices and your oils to make the flavors blend, to make the texture, to make it taste like you used to eat meat, to make it taste like meat. And I also, the last ingredient I use is tempeh. So tempeh is another soy product as well that can come in different forms, blocks, strips, and you just cut it to whatever form that you want to use.
Okay, the next question is from Jeanette as well, and she said, can you show the original container for the cocoa butter? Is it a chocolate flavored butter or a coconut butter?
The cocoa I use is just Friar's cocoa. Just one sec, I'll get the container. Just Friar's cocoa. Dry as can be. And I know a lot of ingredients, and you have to read a lot of ingredients once you become plant-based. You get used to it after a while. It does sometimes say may contain milk, but this one does not. It's just straight cocoa powder. That's all it is. Most people already have that one in their home.
Perfect. And we have two questions about the cocoa powder
Okay.
from Marcia and Nikki.
Yeah.
Explain more about the cocoa powder, and can you explain what the cocoa does?
The cocoa gives it a little more of a deep, rich color. I used to use chocolate. I use a 90% actual dark chocolate. It's the same thing, but sometimes it takes a little bit longer to melt. So what I try to do is when I add it in, I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. When I add it in, it actually gives you a more richer flavor, and it's that extra, when you're tasting it, it's that extra little note. It's like, what is that? I'm not quite tasting. So it melds well with the cumin, the chili, kind of gives you, I hate using like a Mexican kind of vibe, but it kind of gives you that different flavor profile to it that if you just didn't have it in there at all.
Okay, our next question is from Lori, and she asked, where's the best place to purchase Beyond Meat?
Best place to purchase Beyond Meat. Where I get mine, you can get it from multiple places now because it's come a long way. I get mine at Sobeys here in Ormocto or in Fredericton. It's actually in the meat aisle. You actually got to go to the meat aisle. Superstore, they're carrying it. One product, I think they're carrying just the burgers right now, but they're getting in the ground meat. You can also get it from Costco now. I believe they come in a 6 or 7 pack, which is a little bit cheaper. And you can also get it at the Victory Meat Market in Fredericton.
Okay, Carlos said, this is awesome, thank you. Can I add corn to this chili?
Yes, I normally do, but some people don't like corn. It seems like a cilantro thing. A lot of people don't like some of the taste of it, but yes, by all means, add frozen corn or canned corn. It's a very versatile dish. Like you can add other vegetables that you want into it, and you do the exact same thing.
Okay, and Lori asked, can you share a recipe for vegan cheese?
Recipe for vegan cheese. Thanks, Lori. I know where she lives. Recipe for vegan cheese. Give away all my secrets. Quick recipe of vegan cheese. Well, the quick recipe that I would use for my mac and cheese, I'm going to give away my secret, is you soak 3/4 of a cup of cashews. Raw, unsalted cashews that you get from the bulk barn or Superstore or Sobeys. You're going to soak them overnight for best, and when you soak them the morning when you get up, the next day they're going to be really plump and soft. So then from there, you're going to add onion and garlic that I sauteed in a pan until soft. You're going to put the cashews in a blender. I use just a Vitamix. A high-speed blender works the best if you can. So you drain the cashews, put them in the blender, put in your garlic and your onion. And from there, you can add other, give them the whole recipe. You can add your other things. So I use a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder. I use 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. I see people writing this down. I use 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I use 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Tomato paste will give it a little red, rich color. and I use a teaspoon of turmeric, ground turmeric, and then I add 1 cup of vegetable broth. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna blend that in your blender, and when it turns, it'll actually turn a yellow mac and cheese kind of color, like a nacho cheese, and then you can heat it as is, or you can heat it up. Now, when you heat it up while using cashews, it will thicken. So if you cook it too long, it will stick to everything you got. So what I do is I do the boil the mac. So I take my macaroni or my pasta, you can use any pasta, boil it according to directions, drain it, and I put it in the same pot. I add in the sauce, and I just heat it up just so it's warm through. And that's it.
Okay, so we have a couple more questions, but Lori asked to follow up about this one, so I'll ask this one first.
Okay.
What is the shelf life of vegan dishes / cheese?
Shelf life of vegan dishes / cheese. Well, if you make my cheese sauce, it will last in the fridge for up to, say, 3 to 4 days. I've had it go longer. I've had it gone 4 to 5, and it's still been okay because it hasn't really been cooked. So once it's in that same liquid form, you can put it in a mason jar, any container in the fridge, and just use as you need it. If you want to make nacho cheese, heat it up a little bit in the pan or in the microwave. So you put on this little, I say shelf life of that would be, I say 4 to 5 days in your fridge. And what was the second part of that question?
It was just the shelf life of vegan dishes.
Vegan dishes?
Or vegan cheese.
Where you're not dealing with any plant or any animal products, they don't have any cross-contamination. A lot of the products will last a little bit longer, as she would know. Making lasagnas or making chilies, the shelf life is actually some, I'd say, better than the animal products in it. At the same time, you don't want to go over past the window. So if you did this up and put it in your fridge once it's cooled, you could probably get a good week, I'd say, out of it before you eventually want to say, okay, it's either going to go to the bin or going to do something else with it. With, say, lasagna, after a while, it just gets dry. So as long as it's in your fridge and it's kept in a cool container, it will last for quite a while. Same with like Caesar salad dressing, because I know she likes Caesar salad dressing. So if you do Caesar salad dressing the same way, keep it in the fridge in a jar, and then yeah, it'll last. So there's pretty good shelf lives as compared to using actual meat products.
Perfect. So Stacy asks, does it make the chili thicker if you add more nutritional yeast?
No, not really. What it's going to do is it's just going to give it more of like a cheesy vibe. So it's going to give you more of a cheesy taste to it. But if you add a cup of it, it's going to be a little thicker because it doesn't always melt completely away. So by using just a little bit, it gives you that extra little notes to it. So I wouldn't add too much.
Okay, and Mavis asks, do we get leftovers?
Do we get leftovers? Mavis is my mom. Yes, there will be leftovers because, as you know, tomorrow is Mother's Day. So free gift right there, everybody. So yeah, so she definitely will be getting leftovers, as will some other people. And as I just been pointed out, my sister must be reading backs. It actually will thicken some of your dishes. I never really knew that. And another good thing about nutritional yeast, a lot of people should be doing, especially if you're plant-based or in general, there's a lot of vitamin B products that are actually in nutritional yeast that you don't normally get from some other products.
And Jeanette asked, when's your cookbook coming out?
I should have known that was coming. It's still in the process, I'm afraid. Trying to get my life on track, trying to get everything else organized the best that I can to see where I'm going to go with this. A lot of these viewers actually are following me on my Facebook page at Peasfullfare and on my Instagram page at Peasfullfare as well. So they've seen the progress of how I've been going. Hopefully soon. So if anybody's watching that's a publisher that wants to give me a deal, that'd be great.
All right, so it looks like that's all we have for questions now. So if you want to go ahead and wrap things up, it was awesome.
All right, first. All right, so I hope everybody had fun. Hope you learned something today. I recommend trying this recipe. It's a great vision, especially in a day like today. Like I say, it's snowing, miserable outside. It makes great leftovers, and it's just a good family fare dish. That's what Peasfull Fare is all about. It's feeding the family. Off timer. It's feeding the family and making easy dishes that people can say. So make more vegan cuisine instead of just people think we eat lettuce. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all your comments. I'm sure I'll be talking to some of you later on, and hope you all stay safe, stay healthy, and thank you very much.